Hello, I'm Maria Carmina from Tribe for HEXAHEDRON. Together with my tribe mates, Princess, Mary Jane, and Donna, we will discuss and explain to you the definition and examples of conditional and biconditional statements. But before that, I will give an initial definition of them. They have difference as nouns. The conditional statements depends on the condition being true or false, while the biconditional statements is a if and only if condition wherein the truth of each term depends on the truth of each other. In that case, my tribe mates can interpret more additional information to you about the topic. So, let's start with the conditional statement.
So, conditional statements are formed by joining two statements, P and Q, using the word if and then. Pag may sentence po tayong may if and then, ibig sabihin stating a certain condition or possibility. Kaya nga po siya tinawag na conditional statement. The P statement is called hypothesis and the Q statement is called conclusion. So, if P, then Q, ibig sabihin pag nangyari si P, may posibilidad po na mangyari si Q. Next, hypothesis and conclusion. Tingnan natin kung ano pinagkaiba ng dalawa. So, hypothesis tells whether the statement is proven to be true or false. Ang hypothesis po sa science is hypothetical guesses or hula na mga posibleng mangyari. Kaya nga po siya proven to be true. So, conclusion is an evaluation of the underlying theory or idea of the hypothesis. Siya po yung mag-prove if our statement is true or false. Example of conditional statement. First, if it will rain, then I will bring my umbrella. The hypothesis in that statement is it will rain. The conclusion, I will bring my umbrella. Next, if I will study my lesson, then I will get a high grades. The hypothesis, I will study my lesson. Conclusion, I will get a high grades. Last, if an angle measures 90 degrees, then it is a right angle. Hypothesis, an angle measures 90 degrees. Conclusion, it is a right angle.
Bioconditional definition of the topic. Semantically, the only case where a logical bioconditional is different from a material. Ang bioconditional daw ay hindi magkatulad sa conditional material. Give two examples. I have a triangle if and only my polygon has only 3 sides. Number 2. Polygon has only 3 sides if and only if have a triangle. Provide about bioconditional statement. Only form 2-line segment are congruent. Ang bioconditional daw ay may statement and combination from 2-line segment are congruent.
So our topic for today is all about the conditional and biconditional. First, let us define what is conditional statement. Conditional statement can be written in if P then Q form or in if P implies Q form. For instance, if we order pizza, then we can have it delivered. What is the antecedent and consequent in this sentence? So the antecedent one is if we order pizza, then the consequent is then we can have it delivered. The second sentence is if you go to the movie, you will not be able to meet us for dinner. What is the consequence and the antecedent? The antecedent one is if you go to the movie, then the consequence, you will not be able to meet us for dinner. And the third sentence is if n is a prime number greater than 2, then n is an odd number. The antecedent is if n is a prime number greater than 2, and the consequence will be n is an odd number. So, for us to easily understand what is conditional statement, here is the other definition or information about it. So, in any conditional statement represented by if P then Q or by if P implies Q, the P statement is called the consequence. So, the other example for it is this one. In this example, we are going to identify the antecedent and consequence in the sentence. The sentence is, if our school was this nice, I would go there more than once a week. This sentence came from the basketball diaries. So what is the antecedent and what is the consequence? The antecedent in this sentence is, our school was this nice. And the consequence will be, I would go there more than once a week. We come now to the so-called the truth table for the conditional P then Q or P implies Q. Okay, to determine the truth table for P implies Q, consider the advertising slogan for a web authoring software product that states, ito yung sinabi, ito yung slogan nila, if you can use a word processor, you can create a web page. So, we have this table wherein it is composed of 3 columns. First one is antecedent P, you can use a word processor. Second one is consequent Q, you can create a web page. And the third one is P then Q or P implies Q. So, what this table all about? We are going to tackle row 1. Row 1 is all about antecedent T and consequent T. You can use a word processor and you can create a web page. So in this advertisement, the truth value of the advertisement is true. True siya. And we are going to tackle also row 2. Row 2 says that antecedent T and consequent F. You can use a word processor, but you cannot create a web page. In this case, the advertisement is false because like what I said a while ago, anyone of us can create a web page and can use a word processor. So definitely, row 2 is false. So I have an example or examples of what truth table of the conditional P then Q is all about. For example, first, if 2 is an integer, then 2 is a rational number. In this sentence, the statement is true because the consequence is true. And the second one is, if 3 is a negative number, then 5 is greater than 7. If we observe, the statement is true because the antecedent is false. This one, the antecedent is, if 3 is a negative number, then 5 is greater than 7. So, the third one is, if 5 is greater than 3, then 2 plus 7 is equals to 4. This statement is definitely false because the antecedent is true and the consequence is false. So, we come now to the second topic. And our second topic is all about the biconditional. So, what is biconditional statement? The statement P then Q or Q implies P is called a biconditional and is denoted by which is read as P if and only if Q. Example, let P, Q, and R represent the following. P, she will go on vacation. Q, she cannot take the train. R, she cannot get a loan. We are going to use it in a symbolic statement. First, she will go on vacation if and only if she can take the train. Second, she can get a loan if and only if she does not go on vacation. So, some of us are thinking that what is the difference between conditional and biconditional statement? So, the difference between conditional and biconditional is that conditional is grammar or a conditional sentence, a statement that depends on a condition being true or false, while biconditional statement is a logic and an if and only if conditional wherein the truth of each term depends on the truth of the others. That's all for today. So I hope you learned something from our topic, which is the conditional and biconditional statement.
So in behalf of our tribe, Hexahedron, we would like to say thank you, and thank you for watching our video presentation. And we are willing to hear all your feedbacks for us to improve more our group video presentation. Have a good day and God bless us all.